Hello guys, and welcome to our channel. In this video, we are talking about most expensive palaces in the world. Before we continue our video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for more interesting videos. Let's start the video. Number 10. Windsor Castle, UK, $236 million. Windsor Castle dates back to the 11th century when it was constructed for William the Conqueror. Designed with Georgian-style architecture, Windsor has various state apartments and countless artifacts and art collections. It also has St. George Chapel on its premises, the venue for royal weddings, as noted by Cheat Sheet. The Queen has made the castle her new permanent residence since the COVID-19 pandemic. Number 9. Saray Palace, Turkey, $663 million. Saray Palace has been included in the UNESCO World Heritage List and remains a grand monument from the medieval period. Once a part of Emir Timur's residence, the palace was constructed over 24 years from 1380. The reserved part of the palace is restored and remains a centerpiece of cultural festivals. The ground plan for the presidential complex started in 2011. The Council of Ministers decided that the Ghazi compound should be turned into an urban transformation and development project area for the purpose of constructing a prime ministry building in 2012. Soon after, the construction of the project started with the cooperation of the Ministry of Culture and Tourism, Ankara Metropolitan Municipality, the Ministry of Environment and Urbanization, the Housing Development Administration (TOKI), the Ministry of Forestry, and the Cultural and Natural Heritage Preservation Board. On September 2, 2014, President Erdogan announced that the complex will function as the official residence of the Turkish presidency, and that Sankaya Mansion, the previous presidential residence, will serve as the official residence of the Prime Minister. The complex was bombed on 15 July 2016 as part of the failed coup d'etat attempt. Number 8. Dolmabas Palace, Istanbul, $1.5 billion. Dolmabas Palace is the largest monoblock palace in Turkey, which started construction in 1843 under Sultan Abdülmecid. The castle was built to cover the financial decline of the Ottoman Empire, covered in gold and crystal. Dolmabas has 285 rooms, 68 toilets, 6 hammams, and 44 halls. Dolmabas Palace was ordered by the empire's 31st Sultan, Abdülmecid I, and built between the years 1843 and 1856. Previously, the Sultan and his family had lived at the Topkapi Palace, but as the medieval Topkapi was lacking in contemporary style, luxury, and comfort, as compared to the palaces of the European monarchs, Abdülmecid decided to build a new modern palace near the site of the former Besiktas Sahil Palace, which was demolished. Hassi said Aga was responsible for the construction works, while the project was realized by architects Garabet Balyan, his son Nikovayos Balyan, and Evan Iskalfa, members of the Armenian Balyan family of Ottoman court architects. The buildings inside the complex are designed in accordance with Seljuk and Ottoman architectural traits, forming a synthesis. According to Turkish media, the design of one of the offices is based on the White House's Oval Office. Number 7. Istana Nurul Emin Palace, Brunei, $3.9 billion. The Istana Nurul Oman is the official residence of the Sultan of Brunei, Hassan al-Bolkiah, and the seat of the Brunei government. The palace is located on a leafy, riverside sprawl of hills on the banks of the Brunei River, a few kilometers southwest of Bandar Seri Begawan, Brunei's capital city. The palace is often at the center of state occasions and royal hospitality. The name Istana Nurul Aman is taken from Malay Istana and Arabic Nurul Aman, and means Palace of the Light of Faith. It was designed by Filipino Visayan architect Leandro V. Locsin, who utilized the architectural motif of golden domes and vaulted roofs to echo Brunei's Islamic and Malay influences. The interior of the palace was designed by Kuan Chu, design principal of KCA International, whose other works include the Burj Al Arab in Dubai. Construction was handled by Ayala Abbott and Butters, a UK construction firm, and completed in 1984 at a total cost of around $1.4 billion. Number 6. Winter Palace, Russia, $6.44 billion. The most famous building in St. Petersburg, the Winter Palace, was the first imperial residence for Peter the Great. His descendant commissioned Francesco Bartolomeo Rastrelli to redesign the castle, which underwent several transformations in the next few decades. In 1917, it became a state hermitage museum, and some parts are open for viewing. Number 5. Buckingham Palace, $7.2 billion. Buckingham Palace is a London royal residence and the administrative headquarters of the monarch of the United Kingdom. Located in the city of Westminster, the palace is often at the center of state occasions and royal hospitality. It has been a focal point for the British people at times of national rejoicing and mourning. Originally known as Buckingham House, the building at the core of today's palace was a large townhouse built for the Duke of Buckingham in 1703 on a site that had been in private ownership for at least 150 years. It was acquired by King George III in 1761 as a private residence for Queen Charlotte and became known as the Queen's House. During the 19th century, it was enlarged by architects John Nash and Edward Bloor, who constructed 3 wings around a central courtyard. Buckingham Palace became the London residence of the British monarch on the accession of Queen Victoria in 1837. The original early 19th century interior designs, many of which survive, include widespread use of brightly colored scagliola and blue and pink lapis on the advice of Sir Charles Long. King Edward VII oversaw a partial redecoration in a Belle d'Epoque cream and gold color scheme. Many smaller reception rooms are furnished in the Chinese Regency style, with furniture and fittings brought from the Royal Pavilion at Brighton and from Carlton House. The palace has 775 rooms, and the garden is the largest private garden in London. The state rooms, used for official and state entertaining, are open to the public each year for most of August and September, and on some days in winter and spring. Number 4. Tokyo Imperial Palace, Japan, $12.25 billion. Located on the remains of Edo Castle, the Tokyo Imperial Palace finished construction in 1888 and was destroyed during the Second World War, but later built in a similar style. Unlike the Forbidden City, the Imperial Palace is not open to visitors except on January 02 for the New Year's greeting and on February 23, the Emperor's birthday. Number 3. Louvre Palace, France, $45.5 billion. In 1546, the Parisian Old Castle was torn down under Francis I to construct the Louvre Palace by Pierre Lescot. While the king only made a small portion of the Louvre as seen today, significant additions were made in the 17th century by the future monarchs, as stated by Britannica. After Louis XIV moved his residences to Versailles in 1682, the palace ceased to be a royal residence and was converted into a museum in the next decade. Number 2. Palace of Versailles, France, $50.7 billion. The epitome of luxury, the Palace of Versailles is one of the most luxurious palaces in the world. That first served as a hunting lodge for Louis XIV before the successor designed the palace, proclaiming himself the Sun King. With over 350 living units, the castle has Baroque and Rococo architecture and features expansive gardens and sculptures. Number 1. Forbidden City Complex, China, $69.66 billion. 3 times larger than the Louvre, the Forbidden City Complex in Beijing is one of the best preserved wooden structures in the world. As mentioned by CNN, after Zhu Dai established Beijing as the capital of China, he built the Forbidden City. Over 1 million workers and 100,000 craftsmen worked over 14 years to complete the structure. Home to over 24 emperors, the Forbidden City reportedly has 999.5 runes, as the Chinese believe that the God of Heaven has 10,000 runes. That's all for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed our video. For more videos, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon for more interesting videos. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.